What's going on, family? Your midday bass Stichiz is here, and I'm excited because continuing to celebrate Haitian greatness, I got my brother in the building, one of the greatest, one of the most impactful musically. He's not just an engineer. He's not just a producer. He's not just a songwriter. He's not just an impact artist. He's in our educational system, giving back to the kids. That's a good introduction now, y'all. Y'all give it up for Jerry Wonda!
Attack! This is Jerry Wonda.
Welcome, Jerry.
Yo, blessing, man. You know, early morning, I still got to get my tea going, my coffee going, all that,
What you put in your tea? What do you put in your tea?
You know what? Just lemon.
Lemon? No
That's
honey?
it. Nope.
You don't put no honey in your tea?
Just lemon.
Okay.
And for some reason, I just love it.
Okay.
The tea. Everything got to have taste for me.
All right.
Except the tea.
Makes sense because your music has to have a taste.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
All the time.
See how I transition like that? You see how I transition? So for those who are hearing about you for the first time, Jerry Wonda, please introduce yourself to the beautiful people. S'il vous plaît.
Yeah. What's funny, I was waiting for the elevator.
Okay.
And a bunch of people walk out there was like, we hear hips don't lie. Shakira. I was like, just stand there. Just to let you know, there's like a lot of time as a songwriter, producer.
Right.
We produce songs, and when the artist sing the song, people don't know who's
behind it.
Yeah. So we it's good. So Jerry Wonda produced Shakira,
Hits.
the Fugees,
Timeless.
Carlos Santana,
Bangers.
Wyclef Jean.
It keeps going. You see,
Oh, Lauryn Hill, Beyonce.
it goes on. Stop playing. Keep going. You keep going because I'm going to keep going.
DJ Khaled.
Again.
Let's keep going. You know, man, come on. Michael Jackson,
Let's
I got
go.
to look at the work with.
What?
Oh, my God.
The
best one,
Come on. Tell me.
the person right across from me right now.
Oh, don't do
Stichiz.
Oh,
Yeah, come on.
Look here, she too dark to blush now here. She too dark to blush now.
Come on. You know I had to produce you.
I appreciate you,
know
Jerry.
that.
Let me tell you what, it is truly a pleasure to have you because not only are you a great musician, but just a great person. And I want to give that to you now publicly while you can hear it and receive it. Just the care and the heart that you put into everything that you do. You can feel that you're in it, Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, Jerry Wonda!
Let's go. Attack.
All right, now we got to get to the beginnings of things.
Yeah.
Because for you, growing up initially was it Haiti or
In Haiti.
Cuba? Where in Haiti were we from?
Yeah, Quadruple. That's where me, my family, well, Wyclef, we from the same place.
And cousins, both of you are cousins.
Yeah, we first cousin. Big shout out to Melky.
Shout out, that's my sister Melky, Rose, the whole squad. Everybody talented. Y'all got everything going on. So growing up in Haiti, how was it for you at home? Was it always music, or give us a picture for those who may not know?
Well, it wasn't music because in the beginning, I didn't know what I wanted to do. Then I remember big shout out to my brother, bought a guitar. My cousin, my brother, they were playing around with a guitar.
So you were around that?
Yeah,
in the house.
I was around and I started touching the guitar, and it felt good.
What do you remember the first time when you touched the guitar? What was going through your mind or your heart?
Learning how to play C chord and boom, 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 boom. Then from the guitar, then transferred to like bass.
Yeah.
Because and the minute I touch a bass, it was over.
Boom, boom.
Yeah.
Give me the sound.
Oh my God.
Boom, boom.
Boom, 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 boom.
You know what song that is.
Exactly.
You know what song that is.
Yeah. So that's what it was for me, and growing up in church, and felt wanted playing the instrument. I remember playing the guitar, the bass in the church, and
So
people
that's
didn't
where you
know how to
started
play. Yeah.
playing in the church.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Playing for the Lord.
For the Lord.
Come on now.
And next thing you know, I got invited. Like Ben was looking for a bass player, but at the time I think I was 16 or something, like 15 or something. And they're like, yo, there's this kid that played the bass really good.
That was you.
And that was me. I went, and the guy named Gospel, Wigo Divene, and he was one of the top gospel players. He's like, I like your vibe.
What?
You're not the best bass player, but I like your vibe.
Dang.
No, he was real because I wasn't.
Okay.
Then I started learning practice with the band, and you know, by next thing you know, and then they
You
gave
became
me
the
the name
best.
Little Bass T-Boss. You know, when you listen
Tell
to
me,
Killing Me
tell me.
Stuff,
Little Bass T-Boss.
T-Boss, yeah, that's my name.
Okay. Now you know I'm gonna run with that forever. Little Bass T-Boss.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
so we boom.
Yeah.
We're learning with the band.
Yeah.
What was mom and dad saying? Because l'école l'église, like I engineer, like music, that wasn't a part of the equation, or were they okay with it?
Well, at the time, my mom was good. Then we ended up moving to United States.
Okay.
Then when I came to went straight up. My dad sent me straight up to his sister's house.
Okay.
Which was Wyclef's mom. And I remember the church used to be in the house. And straight up then, that's when...
Oh, you were playing in the house?
And yeah, we were playing in the house.
Did they pay you? They ain't pay you?
No money. You know, I didn't make money on music till
You got a blessing from the Lord. You got the blessing. That's all right.
For the Lord. But I was getting paid to play with a Spanish band. I know how to play because I didn't know Spanish. I was playing merengue. Then I learned. I started playing with a top 40 band. So then I had an Afrobeat band that played jazz funk. Then I was playing with them. So musically, I was listening to Creole and I was playing with a reggae band. So all the style was a training for me. So as a producer, later on, they ended up helping me. But
that was a setup, though. You were being literally divinely set up to make the hits.
God already had a plan. You know, God already had a plan, and we couldn't do hip-hop music. I remember my dad moved from Brooklyn so he could be in New Jersey, close to Wyclef mom. You know, his sisters, there was 3 of them at the time.
Right.
And, but the housing, I took the basement. It was me, Wyclef, my brother, Renell.
Yeah, I remember that story.
And we took the basement and put a recording studio. But before that, we did a church album. Because Wyclef and I, we was the band for the church.
Right.
We did an album. The album probably sold, I don't know, 100 copies.
What was the name of the album?
Helping Hands.
Oh.
Yeah, I got to send you a copy. You gotta
send me a copy.
You got to see the picture
What?
of Wyclef, me, my brother. Oh, yo, you going to bug out. We had please.
You got okay, no, we gonna remember jazz right here. So we gonna Jazz, Helping Hands. So that was the first album.
That was the first album that Wyclef and I.
And you guys wrote the songs and everything.
We did all the songs.
Do you remember the first gospel song that you wrote?
My God, what I was doing gospel music with the guy Wigo. You know, then we have a song called Songe Prier. You know,
how you go?
Songe Prier, boom boom boom. Boom, 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 boom. I set him up.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Dave.
You set me up to sing. Yo, listen, I'm good being the producer in the band.
I love it. But
be on the front and be like, sing this part, go like this, flip it, do it again. That's what I do. Don't make me sing it again.
That's okay. I got you.
And then we did the Helping Hands album. We really sold nothing. Then that's when I went to school. And I said, I love Quincy Jones. You know, I love the fact that as a producer, Quincy doesn't sing.
Right.
And I always say, yo, that guy, I love him. I love his talent.
He did exactly what you said. He sing this, do this, move that. Yeah.
But very good. So I followed the model and I went to school to be a recording engineer. A school called IAR.
Okay.
And I got there. It was good. Then after that, I got an internship at a place called House of Music.
Okay.
House of Music, that's where Cool in the Game recorded.
Yeah.
That's when, and Wyclef already was in there with them and doing stuff. I didn't like it because they have all the equipment as an intern. You know, they wasn't doing perfect. And I said, you know what? I'm going to build a studio. We did everything. We ended up building the Booger basement.
So what they didn't have, you built for yourself and Clef.
Yeah.
Wow.
We built that. And from that studio, we start the score. You know, that story, a lot of time.
Hold on, wait. You done glazed over a lot. Hold it now, okay? So from there, so you're interning. You don't see the equipment that you know you should have.
No, they wouldn't let me go.
Oh, they wouldn't let you
touch the equipment or go in that room. as an intern, I was like, okay, no, we're not doing that. Then I left. Then I went.
And you built your own studio.
Built a studio.
And this is
and
where the album, the score comes from.
Came
in the
out
basement.
my dad's house, straight up in the basement. Booger basement was if you were too tall, you couldn't be in that basement.
Right.
But that's where Killing Me Softly and big shout out, of course, Wyclef and Lauryn Hill and Pras.
The whole squad.
John Fortis, Salam Remy was one of them.
Yes, Salam.
Yeah. It's so many people that was a part of it, of the future. People don't talk about it, but because like I said, I go places where I create songs,
right?
And sometimes people say that, well, I remember when I did the song, no, you didn't, Yellow, you didn't make the beat, bro.
I did
what are you talking about? Yo, that's my bass playing, man. That's my drums.
And you're the musician on the song.
Yeah, but sometimes you don't get the credit.
Right.
But I always make sure that, like we did the panels, what I bring to the school, make sure you register yourself.
Exactly.
You register the song.
The business side.
You get the business side, because I didn't know the business side. In my beginning, they took a lot for me, a lot. But you know what? If they didn't take that much, I wouldn't be where I'm even sitting here with you.
Right.
So I said, there's a way you got to learn the business. But it's funny when, as a producer, you just hear people
talking about the song that you made. I want to ask you this, Jerry. One thing on the business end, because I want to go back to certain songs that were made in that basement, but one thing on the business end that you feel like you've learned and that you're happy that you kind of went through that process that you could share with an artist or producer and engineer.
Well, one thing that I learned, man, stick to what you know how to do. And don't let nobody, I know that's not what they say, don't let nobody let you down.
Yeah.
But listen, remember, you just got to know that it's not an easy road. You got to go up and down.
Yeah.
Stay steady. Keep going. And don't stop, but always have a plan A and a plan B, because if you're too depressed, you can't really create music sometimes.
Thank you for sharing that. What was one down moment for you? Because people see there's the song, they see you get this, you got the Grammys, but what was one down end for you, and how were you able to pivot out of it?
Well, the one down for me was like
that you're okay to share.
The project, some of the project that I work on, I see a lot of people making a lot of money out of it, and I wasn't, and I didn't have credits, and it was painful. It was painful. But I learned moving forward. I was like, forget the past. Let's move forward and make sure I get what I deserve, and I got what I deserve. And
your masters now.
Yeah.
Hey.
Later on, yo, man.
And you got your masters, baby.
Yeah. I got my catalog back to me, and
how did that happen? How did this happen?
Well,
you getting it back?
After when you sign a publishing deal,
20
you
years
sign it for a certain amount of years, and you have to keep and especially some the old contract you used to have, people used to have, you sign your publishing forever, like you give it away.
Right.
What's the word? Perpetuity, something like that. That's the word. That's where you give once you sign it forever, or after you're done with your contract, they will hold the publishing
for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, for about 10 years, 15 years, 8 years, 20 years, But mine was like about 12 years.
And now you got it back.
And I got it back.
Can we clap for that? Please, can we clap for that?
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Oh, definitely a big deal.
So congratulations to you on that. So let's backtrack just a little bit before we hit on the impact that you're making in the educational system, because I really want to hit on that. Yeah. But in the basement, when you created those songs, did you know when you were writing, for example, Killing Me Softly, did you know that was going to take off or have that feeling? Give me that process. I want to be like I was in the room with you.
Well, like I said, it was team. And I wouldn't say I wrote Killing Me Softly, but I was a part that really making that song, because it was a cover of the Fugees. Right. The score was already in the middle, creating, first song, from the Radio Not to all the other songs. The Killing Me Softly basically was the last song. and we was doing, and it was a team. And that song, it was a team from the big beats to the way the song is vocals and bass,
Yeah.
And my bass line on that song was like straight up Haitian reggae, boom, boom. Big shout out to, believe it or not, Paz. I remember when I was playing that bass line, Paz going boom, boom. I was like, yeah, that's how we going crazy. Big shout out to Paz, well, man.
But it was a collective effort in doing that.
Big shout out to Wyclef. Big shout out to Lion Hill
But did you guys know that it was gonna take off the way it did? Did you have sometimes when when you're creating something, it's like this about to be it. Did you guys have that feeling with certain songs on the albums?
Depending on who you asking. Some people, for me,
yeah.
I was just in love with the music. I was like, it sounds great. It's good.
Let's go.
Oh my God. It was like, yo, listen, after long start singing, it was like at the time we had tape machines.
Yeah.
Now you got Pro Tools. Tape machine do the wheel to wheel.
Yeah.
We only had a certain amount of tracks.
Yeah.
And it was the background, as a singer, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The background of these, it was like over 30 tracks of vocals.
Oof.
But
in the basement too.
In that basement.
Did you have air conditioning?
Oh, sometimes it didn't work.
Okay. Hot basement, 35 takes.
Yeah,
Picture that, family.
No, sometimes it was hot out there. But, we didn't care at the time, man.
You wanted
the
to
music
create.
was good because we created a hub. That Booger Basement was a hub.
Yeah.
A lot of other artists was coming to that basement.
Yeah.
But to go back, it's all about, for me, I love great music.
Yeah.
It's like when I do a song, some song make tears come out my eyes. Sometimes I don't tell people. A certain chords, a certain lyrics, melody touch me, and I go cry. At certain of them, I go dance. And when you creative, you have a part of you. And people always say, they don't know that other part when you're just like, you're like, oh my God, this is really a great record. Now, is it the number one song?
But it touched you in your heart.
Yeah,
Which
100%.
song right now, out of all of your catalog, would you say brings that tear to your eyes till today?
Hotel Rwanda.
Explain for me.
Because I was in Haiti with Wyclef, and we went to a place called Cité Soleil.
Yeah.
And
you about to make me emotional. Ah!
Yeah, when we went there, I know we was dealing with the gang because our goal is there was a lot of musicians there that was a part of the gang, and they asked for Clef to come on there. Of course, Clef said, Jerry, you gotta come with me. I said, if I go to there, I want to make sure I partner, which was a white boy.
Yeah.
And let me just say Canagers. And he's white, but he's more black than us. I love Seth. And we end up going there. But when we was there, we see how people was leaving, the problem they was having. And we start talking to the gang, and I remember they had different people. They call it hip hop. Somebody was like, "My name is 50 Cent," my name is Tupac. It was like that.
Right.
There's a movie. I could produce a movie on that.
Sounds like
But
that's in the work.
Left Haiti while we went to see this movie. They want Wyclef and I to do a song for it.
Yeah.
And when we saw the movie, without the music, it was like, oh my God. And I said,
with Don Cheeto, you're talking about
Don
Hotel?
Cheeto, yeah. And then I went and bought a special fretless bass, and because I wanted to, if you listen to that song, and it's just touch. It was like I was really emotionally. It was like really tough for me, and when we did the song, and it was really good, but it was from Haiti, the energy, the heat,
and then you brought it into the music.
To the music.
Oof.
That's when
I got chills, Jerry. I got chills, but
yeah.
Okay, so now, what's one song that brings you joy to this day, like no other song?
For example, we got a call. Wyclef and I, we went to San Francisco to go create a song with Carlos Santana, which is my idol. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm gonna work
go
with
back
Carlos
to the
Santana.
merengue times.
Yeah, exactly. And I boom, boom.
Boom, boom, boom. I know what you're talking
yeah,
about.
I came up with that bass line, and when we went there, Clef and I,
Maria.
yeah, we went there with I always have my drum machine, my SP1200, my MPC, my bass guitar, and Clef, at the keyboard, and we had Carlos and guitars, and we was like, big shout out to the Product GMB, about singing the song. But it was a good, Wyclef and I, we did a good job on that record, We did a lot of things. And that one, Maria. Then there's another song called My Love Is Your Love.
That was a beautiful song with Whitney Houston. How was it working with Whitney?
Oh, my God. She's August 9th. And I'm August 9th.
Oh,
Leos,
goodness.
We got Leos in the room together, But it was got connected because we grew up almost the same place.
Yes. She came in the church too, with CeCe Winans.
And also, East Orange, that's where the studio, Newark. And, because once you live in East Orange, Newark, Irvington, they're all that same little place. And
that song
Whitney was really good, yeah.
Was there one thing about Whitney Houston that really won't leave you, that you will always remember her for, beyond her singing?
She walks in the room. If she likes everybody, you get nothing but great energy.
Aww.
Once she get open, she was like, she's just sweet. She was a sweet woman. Really nice, that part, like, she doesn't like you, she's not messing with you.
Right, you gonna know.
And I got, as a Leo, I know we was sending flowers to each other. Like this summer, I got the Jasmine. She had her own Jasmine.
Best assistant ever. We love you, Jazz. You brought somebody else in the building. Who you got with you? You got Jack. Don't leave him out.
This guy right here is one of, is one Benzino is
Benny.
Been around me for a long time. He's the one that said, Jerry, you got to do that project. And he's for the project that I put out, I'm putting out there.
I didn't know that.
Got to get it done, yeah. And he's like, yo, we got to do it. We got to do this. The Mika record, I already had.
Wait, you going too fast. Hold on. Before you even switch over. Okay. So from hold on. Hey, everybody in the room, because we about to skip over some things.
Yeah.
So the two songs with Whitney Houston and Maria, that's the ones that bring you joy.
Yeah.
So now we get to the point we create all this timeless music and this catalog. You now get back your masters. There's something else that you are doing before we get to the project. Impact in education with our students. Let's talk about that, please.
Well, the thing is, since I built, after we did everything, Beyonce and all the
things,
right? I learned about having my studio was a hub, Booger Basement. 2001, people thought I was crazy. I said, I'm going to build one of the biggest recording studio. And of course, we went in. I went in and I created a studio called Platinum Sound.
Yes.
Platinum Sound. I told Wyclef, yo, I'm gonna spend my money. I'm gonna do that. And people's like, yo, you don't need a studio. Studio, it's really expensive. You could rent a studio. You've been renting a studio. Why buy and build one?
What happens when you listen up? If you were to listen to people.
Listen, man, you gotta go follow. Don't listen to nobody.
The right people, because he bends it.
But But at the end of the day, you still got it. When I said don't listen, but grab, make your own decision.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like when I said don't listen, but you always gotta listen because we're born to listen. We hear when people talking.
Right.
We're just born for that. But who's gonna make the decision? It's something. Any mistake you do, that's you.
Right.
And you don't have nobody to blame. Don't blame nobody. So at the time, I was like, no matter mistake, it's okay. So I ended up build that studio. And when I built the studio, I started giving internship to a lot of school, NYU, all the school, five towns, all of them, Berkeley, all of them. Well, I realized that the students are coming to my studio. They graduate, pay $60,000, $100,000, and they only learn a little piece.
Fraction of it.
And I was like, no, y'all need to be hands-on. So when they come there to my studio, I give them an internship. Then I also teach them to get to the next level.
Nice.
And some people might show up and say, I want to be a singer. I say, no, you like more administration. And I focus on that. Let me help you. This one say, I want to be an engineer. No, you're an artist, man. learn the engineering part, but don't let your
Artistry
artistry
go. That's good.
You understand?
Guidance.
Then,
You need
guidance. It's a lot of the things that I do. Then years later,
Tell me.
I got an opportunities. I start going to different part of the world and just go ahead and talk about music. I'm sitting on the board of the Grammys. I start learning a lot of legal stuff, the rules of the Grammy, the rules of the music, and how you put music out, what's the concept, and all this. And I say, you know what? I want to start doing that. Then I start going to different states. From the state, I go ahead and work with the kids. And
in different
right
cities?
now, different cities. And I do states and cities, you know. So...
In Jersey, there was a project
yeah.
let's talk about that project that you did. There was music videos. The students came into your studios and actually recorded an album.
Yeah, I did that. What I do, and it's a part of what I do.
Right.
I go to the schools and I check and get the best of the students and teach them. And I say it's not about the song. It's mostly about the everything happens, you know, from the little sound
to inception,
that little
conception.
sound and built and I understand what it is. So that's what with the song. And some of my students, they don't know about vinyls.
Right.
All right, we making vinyls. So we did a whole summer album. Album with them. Then I said we're gonna create a vinyl from it. Not only it's gonna be the MP3s
right.
and
wave files. You're gonna get an actual tangible vinyl.
Exactly.
Jerry, what does that do for you when you see all of these students? Because there's a caveat to it. It's all positive music.
Yeah.
It's clean music, and it be bussing.
Yeah.
So when you see those students and you see them light up when they're in the studio for the first time with somebody like Jerry Wonda, what does that do for you?
Listen, I could see a smile because it's like taking your little niece to to the toy store.
Yeah.
They will come to see me and they're like, oh my God, I can't believe we've been looking. I can't believe you're here. But what the saddest thing is, it's like knowing when you start learning the story, knowing that
where they come from,
back to where they come from, and there's a lot they're dealing with. So I did two different kind of projects. I do the city project and I do education, which is the school project.
Okay. So
the city is that where I just go ahead and pick the top artists in the city and go ahead and create an album with content. That's the city. And the school project is like education, where I
more hands-on
with the kids. So, I mean, I love what I'm doing right now.
I can
love
see
what
it.
God gave me the opportunity to add those kind of value, and you know,
it's beautiful. And I know somebody might be listening and hearing. How can they connect with you if they want you to come to their city or their school? What can they do?
The first thing is follow at Jerry Wonda. Okay, on Instagram, I definitely, my team check my Instagram. I do check my Instagram, and you could go ahead and hit, I would say, call 212-265-6060.
Yeah, Manada, you got
That's
it right.
the studio.
One more time.
Yeah, 212-265-6060.
Okay, there it is.
There we go.
So
call platinum. Yeah.
I want to know now, what is next? What's on the plate? You mange en pile. You do a lot of things. What is on the plate now? What are we going to be doing?
Well, my plate right now, I'm growing what I want to do in the communities. Adding value is the key for me, and I'm making it in a global way. Working on that. And I do a master class in my studio, Platinum Sound. People travel for it.
Yeah.
Because I do the online thing, but I love to see people.
Yeah.
You know, so I just start this whole. We have one coming up in a couple weeks. Then we're gonna be doing that almost once every 2 months.
Nice.
I'm gonna do a masterclass where people come to the studio. You fly. I have people. The minute I put it on and
it was done
to shut it down with a certain. It was really fast, and people call every state. It wasn't just New York or New Jersey.
They were calling in.
People calling in. Yo, please keep checking to see when the next one coming. Call now, book now. Even the one that we have is already
waiting
list. Yeah, that's a waiting list right now.
Thank God, Girls Make Beats got you first.
Yeah. You know that. You know that, right? How many years ago I did Girls?
Thank God we got a master class with you first. Okay, because you put it busy, that child. Okay.
Girls make beats.
We appreciate you. Thank you, Jerry, for all that you do. And I don't want you to leave without touching on this latest project that you have coming out. You mentioned Mika Ben, rest in peace. What is this project all about? Tell me.
Okay, this project is all about the Jerry Wonda. How I told you in the beginning, like I start from Haitian music, church music to reggae and then to hip hop. You know, I love hip hop.
A mashup. It's a mashup. Stitching it together.
Yes, yeah, exactly. That's what I say. Ow, got it. I love it. I got it. So this song is a lot of people always see me with a couple artists, and when people follow me, a lot of Haitian artists or any artists, and they follow me, when they see me, we get connected.
Yeah,
I got connected to Mika Ben, and he used to come to my studio, and I
Amazing
help him
artist.
out in a lot of things.
Yeah,
I remember I started an idea with him, and then but I never touched after he passed away. I never touched it. So I went back.
So this was years ago.
Years ago. Before,
wow.
You know, and we started the idea. We never finished it. And then I said, you know what? I went back years later. I couldn't listen to it. So I went back and I said, you know what? He gave me that one verse. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna get top writers, you know, Haitian artists.
Right.
And I went and got Elijah Blake. Elijah Blake write for Usher and Beyonce and so on and so on. Rihanna and all of them. Then I went and got on that one, I went and got Alain Cave. Alain Cave was really cool, and I said, you know what? Put him on a record.
Wow.
Then we have this girl. She's a really talented woman, and she's a sweetheart too. Tadia. Yeah. Then
nice.
I put on a song, so it's like that one song. So that's the Haitian. Then I have another record that I'm on that project with another artist named Stichiz. And Buddy's really culture. I got
dope artist.
Yeah. Then I have then that's in the Haitian part. Then I have another artist named Stichiz. That's a part of it, and she's right on the front.
We
of
are
me.
part of the album.
Yeah.
We are part of the project.
We are. Come on, man. We're doing single and we got the single out. Okay. And then on that, but that's that, you know, for the Haitian culture.
Right.
Then I go to the reggae culture.
Yeah.
You know, I got TJ on the record. You know, Drip. I got Steph London.
Oh, nice. Steph on the record.
Yeah. Then I got Eric Bellinger on that.
Nice.
Record.
Okay.
Oh yeah. But as far as a producer, I got people like Cole Mix. I got R Keys and
wow.
And so many other.
You got
my team,
you got players.
My team and Ray Money. C Money. They're all in that that album. So it's a whole team. But I do have a catalog, probably about 5,000 tracks, songs that people haven't heard from. You know, a lot of Fugees stuff, a lot of Wyclef stuff, a lot of Mary J. Blige, and
when can we expect this?
Oh well, this album we dropping single, but by Labor Day, I think we are going to that.
We got the nod.
Yeah, that's Labor Day. We are
hit the ground running.
But we dropping a single. Keep going with the single.
Okay.
And that song we have ourselves. You know, we gotta. Come on, please get ready. We gotta do the video.
Go. Shake and bake.
Yeah.
Shake and bake. Shake.
But listen, man. Anywhere you are, you got a school. You want me to come down? Please hit me up. You're an artist. You want something? Hit me up. Conversation.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jerry Wonda. Anything else, Jerry? Anything else, buddy?
Well, listen, man. I love everybody. Love God. And work with your integrity and don't stop. Keep going even when you feel like it's not happening. Quincy Jones did his #1 album at 55 years old. The Michael Jackson, that's his classic. So no matter age, and I gotta tell you, big shout out to Shakira that's performing Hips Don't Lie.
Yeah.
And Wyclef, I see everyone down stage performing. Yo, listen, man. So by the way, that song.
Tell me.
Hips Don't Lie. There's 2 versions. There was a version that came out before we did for a movie.
Oh.
Then we take that same song, put it in the microwave, fresh it again, drop. So people don't know. So yeah. I had to give you that.
You brought it up. I was trying to wrap up, but you don't brought it up.
Yeah.
What was the process for writing that song? Tell me.
Well, the whole concept of that song, it was like we had a meeting set up while we was in the studio working on, I think, on one album, one of the Wyclef album. There's a guy named Charlie walk into the studio with Shakira's manager at the time was Sissy, and they came to the studio and they're like, and I remember Praz was a part of it too, and said that they need a song, and was like, we was like, okay, what kind of song you want? We like, well, once we had Spanish, cause they dance like this, that was for a movie, but it had a lot of Latin dance in it. We was like, maybe we could, since she could dance, maybe we could do something like that. They're like, no, we want that. I was like, what do you mean? But you know, when you put a song out, we record it after a certain amount of time. Right. So it was already out. So we went back, all we did to that same, all we did change the drums, put reggaeton drums to it, and, add, more bass, making, a little more moog.
Was there compa influence a little bit in there?
No, it was more hip hop.
Hip hop, okay.
It's more hip hop. But reggaeton, come on, man.
Maybe hit my
Yo, I could say I'm a part of reggaeton, but that's how that song started. And big shout out them. Shakira did a good performance, a great thing on it.
Did she teach you how to shake the hips? Did she teach you?
No, we was on tour together every night. I'm like, she's really talented, and we got to work again, and not only on Hips Don't Lie, a lot of different records, and I was a part of Legacy, very quiet in the background. A lot of people stop stealing my credit too. No, I'm just saying. So
no, he for real though. He for real.
Yeah. So a lot of time, and people don't like to give you credit, but it's okay. I mean, when you go on it, you see, you know the
vibes.
Everybody
the vibes. You know the names.
Yeah.
And I'm excited truly for you, Jerry, because I feel like this is the season where you're coming out. Your music and your talent and your gifts and what was in you was put on everything else, but now people will actually get to see that makes sense. Yeah. He did that. I hear it because it's going to come from you. Yeah. And I pray nothing but the best for you and your family, brother. Yeah. Continue to shine, continue to impact, continue Haitian greatness.
Big shout out to everyone in my life.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jerry Wonda!